Hello, Blood Bowl coaches. I am here with my regular co-host Saace. How's it going, Saace?
Doing all right.
And guest coach LuminousLight. How's it going?
Going good.
And we are here to recap weeks 9 and 10, and also take a look at the road to the playoffs. We got a little more than 2 weeks left until the end of the season, so we're going to take a look at who's likely to get to the playoffs in the offseason. Before we do, though, we're going to take a little break to remember uh, those who gave their all on the Blood Bowl pitch in Week 9.
Alright, that movie's done.
And we're back. Man, bloody week. So, should we take a look at Div 3 and see who's likely to be making it to the playoffs?
Well, Div 3 has been tied up through most of the season, all across the board, and right now,
it is very
everybody in the top 8 is still mathematically available to play this out.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of separation between the first two.
So it's 2 spots. Team currently in number 2 has got 23 points. So if we're thinking that that's the minimum, absolute minimum you're going to need to get in, would make everyone in contention down to number 8, Live Tree or Die Hard. Duberman could still theoretically get in, barring that we haven't looked at all the different permutations of the actual matchups. So that may or may not actually be the case once we actually look at who's playing who. But see, how far ahead are the people in the lead? We got Berserkers with 24 and Not an Anime Sports Team with 23. And let's take a look at who they're playing. The Berserkers are going to be up against 2 weeks left. Oh, they're going to go up against each other. So that's actually helpful for everyone underneath them, really, because it gives a bit more room for Brothers, Fruity Kisses, and Snovgard, who are each all on 20 points, to jump up in the next round, to tie whoever loses this game, assuming that match itself is not a tie. So
it could be a tie.
Yeah.
Well,
so let's see. Brothers is facing mainly now green. Fruity Kisses is facing Live Tree or Die Hard, and Snovgard is facing, which is Bonehead. So none of the 3 through 5 are facing each other. So it's possible next week we could see a 4-way tie, or sorry, at least it's possible actually we could see a 4-way tie for second place. If Berserkers wins, and then each of the 3, 4, and 5 teams win their match, then we'll have Berserkers at 27 points, and Not an Anime Sports Team, Brothers, Fruity Kisses, and Snovgard all sitting at 23 points going into the last week, which would be crazy. So, trying to call this one is actually going to be pretty tough. See, who do the top 2 teams play in the next week? So we've got Berserkers is going to be playing... Yeah, so Berserkers is playing Fruity Kisses, so that's actually another of the 2 top contenders. And then Not an Anime Sports Team is playing Mainland Rotters.
That's Wedge's team, who's on the... kind of still in it, yeah.
Yeah,
19.
who's just below those top 5 and still technically in contention.
Triple strength 5 block Nurgle team is still in contention.
Just barely.
Color me surprised. Color me surprised.
A lot of weird stuff would have to happen, but stranger things have happened. Shall we take a look at these teams? See what state they're in, see what we think about them. So let's just go from the top to the bottom. So we got Berserkers.
Berserkers has been strong all season. It's a dwarf team that's dwarfing. I mean, they're gonna go into playoffs healthy. This is probably... It's been a while since we've had dwarfs in playoffs. And this is probably one of the healthiest dwarf teams in the playoffs. And
Berserkers was very close to getting to playoffs last season. Berserkers, Brothers, and let's see, Stouticus' team, the Wooden Stand-Ins, were all sort of head-to-head all up until the end to get the 1 spot in Div 6. Stouticus is the one that made it. Currently, since then, or actually since the end of last season, has just been taking a huge beating. So he's not quite in contention this season. But Berserkers and Brothers still very much playing for that spot.
Yeah.
Got an injury on the
Berserkers are down a Death Roller, right? They haven't missed next game. And he's playing the Not an Anime Sports Team, right? I think that'd be an actual advantage.
Yeah, to drop all that
Death Roller's
TV.
not good against agility.
Yeah.
I was going to say, is missing a Death Roller really a downside?
Yeah, not at all. It's not like
against Bash, it can be useful.
Yeah, and maybe against low, just having an extra mighty blow against against low
But-
AV maybe, but
With how he's built already, I don't think he needs the extra bash fight.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, he has so much guard.
It is going to be a really bashy. I have a feeling this is going to be a really brutal playoff run for everyone. There's a lot of bashy teams going in.
Well, last season there were no dwarves.
Yeah, we're gonna have at least 2 dwarves, I assume. I'm assuming we're gonna see berserkers in, and I'm pretty sure we'll see Motley in for
Yeah.
REL 1.
I mean, anything could happen,
Plus-
and everything's pretty close, but it'd be surprising, to say the least, if both of those teams did not make it in.
And then you got, Sage, Papa Nasty. There's a chance that I get in.
It's going to be a bashy playoff.
Yeah, G-Man 1 is like all chaos in the top 4.
Oh, man.
So, looking strong. I'll talk to them about them later, but not an anime sports team. Arch.
Alright, so what Berserkers is at 1840, not an anime sports team, is going to be their first up going into the next week. 1540 with skills to, and how many players? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're down a player.
Down a blitzer.
They've been down a lot of players. They've been losing people off and on this season.
Got
Two
cash,
levels,
got
that's
cash to replace the blitzer though, so that's
I'm
what.
pretty sure you do that this game.
So that's what 100k for the blitzer and 2 skills, so 140. So he's going to be at least at 1680, assuming he replaces the blitzer into the.
He'll still get a wizard
double
against the
stats.
dwarf owned.
Yeah.
Just something you want, though. I don't think, popping a wizard and diving into that many doors is a idea any elf coach relishes.
Should be able. I mean, he does have that leaper plus agility. You could just grab the ball and get out, hand it off, run away.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he can pop it. The fireball is always, it's always a crapshoot. If you lightning bolt into the middle of a cage, it could end up somewhere where you can't get it. It could end up bouncing into one of the other doors. So that'll be a fun match to watch. But he's got a lot of blodge. He's got all of his catchers seem to be healthy. He needs that other blitzer. For a team that's in second place, 3 points ahead of its nearest contender, this isn't a terribly frightening looking team. But obviously knows what he's doing. So and he's got the tools that he needs to use. So yeah. Should we move on?
Sure.
All right. So
What?
next down the list would be Brothers.
Brez is a pretty beefy team last time I looked.
Yeah, they just lost a fairly advanced blitzer. So they're gonna need.
That's rough right through.
They haven't
right before-
replaced him yet either.
Yeah, I guess, and another one before that. So they're gonna be going in with
Can't
two.
even afford it.
Oh yeah, that's true. So he's gonna be at least another match before he can replace it, and then he's also got a rookie one already that he's gonna have to skill up. So a little bit of rough patch going into the next part of this, the last part of the season. But the developed players that he does have aren't anything to sneeze at either. He's got that strength 4 blodge thrower to be ball carrier. He's got four guard pieces, 3 mighty blow pieces. One of the blitzes is blodge firm and guard, which is nice to have. Am I seeing a missing black orc too?
Yeah, he's missing a black orc. I was just about to say that. He has to get those. He at least has to get a black orc and blitzer before playoffs if he does manage to get in. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty hard for him to contend against some of the bash teams that he'll end up facing.
That's going to take some luck to be able to roll, 100k in 2 matches?
He'll have to win some games, I assume, to get in there.
Yeah,
so.
if he gets in, he'll have to win them. So, and if he's got 9 fan factors, so he's got a good shot at getting the fame bonus, depending on who his opponents are. But he's not lacking in fan factors, so that also adds to your winnings. Yeah, he might be able to replace them both by playoffs if he gets there. But it's going to take some good rolls on the winnings, not to mention actually winning the games. So, How many players does he have at the moment? 4, 7. He's got 11 players.
11.
Right. So no.
Yeah.
So he's got a full team, just down a Black Orc and a Blitzer. Currently at 1560, and his 2 matches to come are, let's see, Brothers versus Mean Lean and Neon Green, and then Brothers versus Leafy Mustard. So he's got Necro and Lizard coming up. He's gonna be.
Those are going to be rough, I think.
Yeah, both of those fairly developed teams. But like I said, the developed players he still does have are pretty well developed. He's got block and guard on both of the Black Orc, on 2 of these Black Orcs. I guess the other Black Orc is still a rookie, and he's got a rookie Blitzer. But
He's looking a little bit weaker in the end of the season. He was a lot stronger before.
yeah, he's had some losses recently, so that might be trouble. But he's a
What
good
were
coach.
his last few games?
Hmm?
What were his last few games that he has to deal with?
Last 2 are Lean, Mean, and Neon Green, Necro,
Okay.
and then Leafy Mustard, Lizard.
No, that one could be a little rough. I mean, always when you're down orcs and then you're facing claw, it's a rough gig.
Yeah, and Leafy Mustard's got some scary looking lizards as well. Let's see, Lean, Mean, and Neon Green. Is going to be actually down unless he's not played yet. No, he's still already played. So he's actually going to be missing a werewolf for their match. So he does have that going for him for the first match. But he is up against 3 guard pieces and a bunch of skills on this team. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Should we keep going down the list?
Sure.
All right. Fruity Kisses. Ladeus' team. Yeah. No. Whoops. It's another one. Hold on. Let's go look.
It's Ladeus' Dark Elf team.
Yeah. So I don't know why he hasn't fired this assassin, but I don't think Ladeus fires players. He also takes 2 assassins, which is weird. But he's, for all the strange choices we keep getting him crap for, he's currently in a 3-way tie for 3rd and only 4 points ahead away from the top of the leaderboard. So
He plays weird.
yeah, it seems to be working
He
this
gets a
season.
lot
at
of
least.
touchdowns. He's
Yeah.
like 3rd in terms of most touchdowns in the entire league.
Sometimes I wonder if Ladeus never really learned how to play Blood Bowl, and so he just goes balls to the wall on everything, and it just works out because everybody goes, huh, well then.
Didn't expect him to do that. And no one expects you to take 2 assassins, especially one with armor 6.
I think it's just a point of pride for him now.
Especially since we've been giving him so much crap about it. He loves to point out that he's doing particularly well. Thank you very much. So,
Yeah.
more power to you, man.
Yeah. Broken clocks, right? Twice a day.
Yeah.
He has a lot of blodge.
He does have a lot of blotch. I mean, and I feel like a lot has gotten his core group is good. Triple Raj, double Blodge, triple Blodge actually. They're all over. It's just weird choices. I will say the Kiwi Kid is a monster though.
Kiwi Kid's looking great. That Cherry Crush Blitzer is looking great. The other strengths 4 and Mighty Blow Blitzer, even with the agility 3, is still
I
going to
think
be
that
dangerous.
would be his 2nd Palm Blitzer. I remember I thought he put one up on the market.
I think
earlier.
he may have in between seasons.
Getting the doubles on those blitzers.
Yeah, I mean, well, we've talked about his team makeup before, but the fact that he's lost and they had an armor bust on this assassin. I mean, assassins are pretty bloated to begin with, but I would get rid of him, but I don't think he will. So we'll see what he does with it, and whether or not Portobello sticks around for very long with armor 6, and especially if he's up against. Let's see who he's up against. Let me check the matchups. Pretty Kisses, Live Tree or Die Hard, and then Pretty Kisses against against the Berserkers. Okay, so that week 13 match might be pretty difficult. Those stabs certainly are not likely to do much against Armor 9 for the dwarves. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. He's certainly got the speed and the agility to run around the dwarves if he's able to pull it off. And we've seen that he, like you said, he's leading in touchdowns, or he's up there in terms of the touchdowns for the league.
He was at one point the top, but I think I've reclaimed that.
Ooh. Well then.
I think. I need to check. I mean, I use BB2 League Manager, so maybe.
Oh, I didn't realize it had all those.
You can look at like
under the
statistics
tab.
and you go to inflicted touchdowns, and then just go all time.
All right. Well, let's for now let's just keep moving down the list. The next is the third person in the three-way tie for third is Snovgard. So let's take a look there.
That's Iron Master's Chaos team.
Yep.
Yeah. Very low team value.
Oh yeah, he just took a beating. So he has lost, I believe, 2 fairly developed beastmen. I think he told me, and he's going to be down 2 Chaos Warriors for the next match.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
His next matches are going to be against, let's see, Snovgard versus Lich's Boneheads, and then Snovgard versus Live Tree or Die Hard. Got that.
That first match is going to be rough, but he's going to have the Chaos Warriors back for the next one.
Yeah. And I think it's Live Tree or Die Hard no, he's actually doing pretty well. A lot of the Wood Elf teams we've been looking at are hardly there at all, but Live Tree or Die Hard is not one of them. Bunch of strengths up, movement up, some guard, plenty of skills all around, so that might be a rough match.
He needs the perfect storm to get... He's got, what, 3 games left, so he can max out at 25 points if he wins 3 games.
Oh, who are we talking about?
Live Tree or Die Hard. Duberman.
Oh yeah, I was just talking in terms of being up against Iron Master and Snovgard for the first.
Yeah.
The first
that
match.
That one's actually Snovgard doesn't have enough skills to deal with it.
No, not with those 2 Chaos Warriors missing, but he is going to be getting. Let's see, 2. It's 120. He's at. So he's going to be at 14. So he's going to get 370 in inducement cash for that match.
Yeah, tackle. Just the lack of tackle is going to be a big problem against the Wood Elves in the second game. He only had 1 tackle.
Yeah, and since we're not at Legendary Edition yet, there's no ability to add tackle to mercenaries. So I don't think there are any star players that have it. That's going to be problematic, even with that 370. But you can keep the one tackle piece useful and keep him on the pitch. Might be able to do something with it. Yeah, I mean that could go either way. AV7 tends to either dominate when it doesn't break or fall apart when it does. So, so we'll see. Should we keep going down the list? So now we've got 2 teams that are currently tied for 6. That are still technically in the running, Mainland Rotters and Leafy Mustard. These guys would need, considering there's only 2 spots left, or there are only 2 spots in the division going to playoffs, these 2 teams would need a bit of a miracle in terms of their season going well and some upsets in the rest of the division, but we might as well take a look at them.
The stars would need to align for these teams to make it in.
Yeah, I'm in a bit of the same situation myself, but let's not get ahead. We'll see that when we get to Div 1. Mainland Rotters, still a hell of a team. 3 Strength 5 players, including two Warriors with Strengths ups. So we've got a Claw Mighty Blow Warrior, a Claw Palm Pestigore, but no block on that Claw Palm Pestigore, so...
Not a whole lot of Mighty Blow and no guard. So,
no, yeah.
I mean, this team has a lot of room to grow. It has incredible potential, though.
Yeah, I mean, how much guard do you need when you've got 3 Strength 5 players, though? Like...
Good block.
And then get him guard.
No.
And
No,
then,
he lost.
Wow.
he got a new beast in Nurgle. I'm sorry, he used to have 3 strength 5 players with block. Now it's just 3 strength 5 players.
Oh yeah, yeah. We saw that in the
bad.
in the montage just now. There was a yeah, dead block beast. But yeah, it's still 3 strength 5 players. And a strength 4 with block and claw mighty blow. So he's going to be up against Mainland Rotters versus Leafy Mustard. So he's going up against Lizards.
That should be a pretty good matchup for him.
Yeah, it's not going to be bad. He's got the claw. He's got a couple of tackle pieces, and that beast is going to keep Skinks pretty much stuck if Grizoot manages to get the ends up with those skinks stuck to the beast. Tentacles basically keeps them from going anywhere. And then in match day 13, we've got, let's see, Mainland Rotters versus not an anime sports team. So he's going
So
up.
they need to win that one.
Yeah. So we need to win both of those matches. In order to end up with 25 points at the end. You would need not an anime sports team to not win the next one, and then you would need all of the tied for third currently teams to at most win and tie. No, actually, we would end up tied with them if they. No, they would all have to. Yeah, none of them could win both games. And he could end up on the top of the leaderboard. Or tie, or rather, let's see. Yeah, he'd be at 25 points. So yeah, I guess one of those things could not happen. He could end up in second and still make it. So, it's a lot of ifs, but it's not impossible. And then I guess Leafy Mustard is in the same boat with 19 points.
Yeah,
So
he'd have to certainly.
Oh, and they're
beat
up
Mainland
against each other.
Rotters
Yeah.
first. Yeah.
So yeah, so that question of which one of these is still going to be in contention is going to be answered pretty soon. Let's take a quick look at Leafy Mustard. They got the skinks. He's got a movement sprint. He's got a one turner here. Probably would have put sidestep on him before sure step or sure feet, just to make those one turns that much easier to pull off. But
Well, at that point you only need what, 1 push?
Yes.
So, I mean,
I guess that's true. Yeah. You need 1 push, but it's still easier to get the 1 push with sidestep. Yeah, it's not the wrong thing either, but and of course Spunkmeyer, who he bought from me like a season or 2 ago. Is almost at level 6, 2 points away.
Those skinks are pretty beefy.
Yeah, and then he's got
a lot of
swords aren't anything to sneeze at either. He's got at least block on all of them.
at least the guy with strip ball finally got break tackle.
Yeah, that makes him a little bit more useful, a little bit more likely to be able to use that strip ball. I think we've been giving him crap for that all season. We'll see if
I think it's worked out for him a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been watching all of the games, so maybe he has actually gotten a chance to use it. But it is a weird skill to see on a Saurus. But he's certainly got a bunch of skills on these guys. He's got a strength up on a Saurus. When break tackle on him is great. That's particularly if you want to do some cage diving. That's sort of 4+ into 3 tackle zones. So super useful. He's got a block Sigor. That's
Always great.
yeah, a lot more dependable than without. So yeah, there's no real weak links here. None of these Saurus are total rookies. So yeah, he's got well-developed Saurus. He's got a bunch of useful-looking skinks. I think that first matchup against the Rotters is gonna be one to watch. He's got that guard, which he's gonna need against those extra strength pieces, but he's got an extra strength piece of his own, so it's not like he's gonna be under strength against the Rotters. His weak 13 match is going to be against, let's see, Leafy Mustard versus Brothers. So again, not an easy week there.
And a game that he has to win.
Yeah, and another game that he's going to have to win. Because if Brothers, if Brothers takes those points, he's going to be jumping ahead of him. And he's going to need those points just to stay in contention. So yeah, because it looks like he's going to need 23 points. He can get that with a win and a tie, but if anyone in the third to fifth in that tie for third picks up at least a win and a tie, they're going to be ahead of him. So, and even if he ends up tied with Brothers in points, if he loses to him, then. Well, if he loses to him, he's not going to pick up a win and tie, so he's not going to be in contention. So, yeah. So yeah, another long, unlikely road, but not impossible. And did we say that Live True or Die Hard might actually? Oh, because they haven't played week.
They haven't played against
yet.
Staticus. If they beat Staticus, they'd be same points as Leafy Mustard. So
right.
they'd be just as.
They'd be tied with Mainland Riders and Leafy Mustard. So let's take a look there. Live Tree.
I don't know about tiebreaker scenarios, but in terms of points, they'd have a shot.
Yeah. So this is close. So yeah, if Live Tree or Die Hard wins this week's match, then we've got a team at 24 points, a team at 23 points, 3 teams at 20 points, and 3 teams at 19 points. But that's a big if. So who is he playing against? So we looked at Live True or Die Hard. They've got a pretty well developed team, healthy for what else?
Bench.
For what else in the REL? Yeah. We rarely see that in the REL. And then they are going to be. Let's take a look. So they're up against Staticus. So it's the other.
That's the week 10 or the week 11 match. Yeah.
Right.
And then there's the week 12 and week 13.
Right. So Staticus is going to be getting some inducements presumably, and has just had the crap beaten out of him. I don't think he's been able to hold on to a War Dancer for more than 2 matches. So. We've seen Staticus pull out some stuff when he was down. Well, obviously in the playoffs last season, he beat Sage against all odds. So certainly can't call that one way or the other. But just looking at the teams, Live True or Die Hard's clearly got quite a lot of development and bench there. Whereas the Wooden Standards are going to be going in with how many loners? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's going to be having 5 journeymen. 5, 350, 1390 against.
But he's going to get He's going to get a pretty good amount of inducements.
13.
He could easily get some very good star players, a wizard.
Yeah, it looks like 380 in inducements. So yeah, and the Wood Elves have some great star players available to them. So. So I think all the teams in contention. We just say that anyone below that. No, leaning green is the next one down, and they're at 12 with 11 matches played.
Yeah, there's no way. I don't think there's any way for them to get that high.
I mean, there's no
mathematically
is mathematically able to make it, and chances are, we can talk the ups on everybody, but chances are that those that need the perfect storm aren't going to make it.
Yeah. So given that Berserkers, I think the fact that Berserkers and non-anime sports team, the team 1 and team 2 are playing against each other, really gives. If we let's just start talking predictions. I think the fact that Berserkers and non-anime sports team playing against each other next week is a huge boon for the 3 teams that are tied behind them. And that's a rough call. If one of these were going to get in, I would have said Brothers, except for the beating they've taken recently.
Yeah, my original prediction was going to be Brazzers and Berserkers for the spots, but that just hasn't been working out.
And talking about brackets, it's funny where REL 3 ended up. They ended up right next to the G-Man 1 and REL 1 winners. So if the first seed's going to have a chance, if they get out of the first game against the Big O Division 2 second, they'll be facing the winner of G-Man 1, which is probably going to be Sage. And REL 3 would be play after they play against G-Man 2 first, which is it's going to be a pretty hard game for them. Then they face the REL 1 winner, which is either going to probably be Horny Cricket or somebody else in REL 1.
I mean, yeah. Now I kind of want to see, was it Stouticus that took out Sage last season?
Yeah, but he's not in contention.
Yeah, that would have been so cool.
But we could see another Wood Elf. I mean, there could be a come from behind story for Duberman.
I mean, that's just sad for Sage, though, then if he keeps losing for coming from behind elves. It's funnier if Stouticus does it himself.
I haven't looked at Sage's team recently. His main problem, as I recall, was that he had plenty of Mighty Blow and plenty of Tackle, but not any on the same pieces. So he had a lot of trouble getting those removals. Has he remedied that? Has he picked up Mighty Blow on some of those Tackle pieces, or Tackle on some of those Mighty Blow pieces?
They're all at like.
He's got 2 Mighty Blow Tackle.
Well, there you go. That's
one palm Mighty Blow claw one claw palm Tackle.
Yeah, that was the main issue he was running into, I think, in that playoff game when Stouticus beat him, was that he had Mighty Blow and he had Tackle, but he didn't have them on the same pieces, so getting those removals
he has 4 Tackle,
was quite a bit harder.
2 of them with Mighty Blow.
There you go. So yeah, he may not have as much trouble with Wood Elves this season as he did last. Alright, so prediction time. Let's say...
Berserkers.
Anyone? I think the Berserkers are probably going to make it. Although, I mean, yeah, next week, whichever team wins next week is going. I think that's guaranteed.
Yes.
If they tie it, they're both probably going.
I'm pretty sure Berserkers is most certainly going.
Yeah. So Berserkers are going.
25. Let's see. Then I guess Brazzers could win their next 2 and maybe pass Berserkers, and Snovgard could win. I don't think they could both win their next 2.
I kind of want to see Fruit Kisses. I kind of want to see Fruit Kisses win 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, I think for all of the crap we've been giving him all season, I think it would be sweet justice just to show us up. I mean, since our first preview, where we're looking at his team going, what are they thinking? It's so bloated. He might make it, so...
I think I'm going to go with Berserkers, and I'm going to say Fruity Kisses.
Okay, I was going to say that, but since you already said it, I'm going to be... I want to come up with something different. Yeah. I'm going to say it's the 2 on the top. I think not an anime sports team after Berserkers has to play the Rotters. Snovgard.
Snovgard. That's certainly an interesting pick.
Snovgard has got the Boneheads and then Live Tree or Die Hard.
Yeah, but knowing that the state that Chaos team is in, it's gonna he has to win both games. And,
oh yeah, he's in a rough spot. So let's say who does Brothers has got the Mean Lean and Neon Green and Leafy Mustard. I'm gonna say Berserkers and Brothers. I think they because I'd like to see it. They were both neck and neck all of last season, and I think it would be fun to see them both end up in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think not an anime sports team is probably gonna make it. Because they're gonna get some inducements against Own. It's gonna be a wizard. Some other stuff in that game. And it's gonna be hard, I imagine, as long as the wizard works, it's gonna be hard for Own to get the win there. I think, and that would pretty much secure Arch's chances to win. And then after that, Berserkers obviously has the best chance, but if I had to pick an outside pick, yeah, I guess Brazzers has a chance to pass Berserkers, so maybe Brazzers and not an anime sports team.
Cool.
So you're going top 2? Alright.
No, he was saying Brazzers and not an anime sports team, so currently 2 and 3.
Pass him.
Yeah. Alright. And honestly, yeah, the 2 on top are probably most likely going to stay on top. That's usually what happens. They do have a 3 and 4 point lead against the people below them. But it's fun to think about what could be, and there's still 2 games to play, and this is Blood Bowl. Especially the fact that the 2 of them playing each other, I think, makes it a lot more likely than we'd otherwise be looking at that someone in the 3-5 tie is going to make it up there. So, anyway, with that said, shall we take a look at Div 2? Or is anything else we want to take a look at for Div 3? Okay, Div 2 it is. So, Div 2. 3 spots for Div 2? Is that right?
Yep, that is right.
Okay, so what are we looking at? Top 3 teams currently have 25, 25, and 22 points.
What we're looking at is the top 6 are in contention mathematically for a chance to take one of those 3 spots. That's Golgothan's your cutoff.
Right, and that's because Golgothan actually has not played Week 11 yet. So currently at 15 points, could
The
top
first
out
2
at
almost
24.
Locked, I think.
Wait,
I think they're almost locked. The top 2.
pretty close to it. Let's see.
There is I need to look at a tiebreak scenario between Cheese Tactics and, because Cheese Tactics is the only one that can catch up to Tadpoles is already in, but Cheese Tactics is the only one that could pass either Ninja Pirate Robo or Ornan if they have the tiebreak.
See, and then he could get up to 25, 20.
Yeah, let me just see if he has a win against either of them. If that's the case, let's see. So on it was a tie against Eat Man things, so that would go down to touchdown differential. And let's see, against Ornan, I think. Has he even played against Ornan yet? No. Yes, he did, and he won. So he'd have the tiebreak over Ornan. So if he can win both his games and Ornan somehow loses both of his next games, then he would have the tiebreak and he'd probably get in.
Well, if he wins both of his next 2 games and Ornan loses his next 2 games, he'd have more points. He'd be at 28.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm looking at.
I guess I'm looking at the BB2 league. Maybe it's off.
Yeah.
Let me look.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm seeing 25 and 25 for the top 2, and then Tadpoles in the Big City at 22.
Cheese Tactics
oh, Cheese Tactics.
Put him at 25.
I was looking. I thought we were talking about Tadpoles. Okay, sorry.
No, I mean Tadpoles is already in the playoff picture, so
yeah.
I was looking at more of like being to knock like a possible 25 pointer off.
Right.
I was seeing if either of them were locked into the playoffs, and I don't think Ornan's locked in, but I think, and I guess Ninja Pirate Robo, I think he'd have the touchdown differential, so I think he is pretty locked in.
Right.
Yeah, he's at 10 right now, which is the most in the entire division.
Yeah. I mean, chances are that'll happen.
So we're gonna look at the teams.
Yeah, let's go down the list. Eat Man Things. Let's look for the top 3. Let's just take a quick look at who's playing who, so we have a sense of what's going to happen for these matchups.
Sure.
So, top 2 or top 3. Eat Man Things is going to be playing. Eat Man Things plays Rats Off to you. Oh, so they're playing each other right off the bat.
Golgothan. So Golgothan would, well, winning that. Obviously Golgothan needs to win that, but I don't think Ninja Pirate Robo needs to win that game in order to stay in the playoffs.
Probably not. And then Eat Man Things plays.
They play the Dire Sick Fish. The High
Tyranny
Elves,
of Kyros. Right.
I'm pretty sure Tyranny of Kyros is already eliminated.
I think so. Yeah, just based on points, and then
I think you see him play pretty conservatively in this match. Ninja Pirate Robo.
New Year North has got Can't Catch Us, Spoony Bard's team, and then New Year North versus White Mane Ravengers. So those are both. Hasn't Spoony Bard been taking a huge number of losses? I'm surprised he's still at.
I mean, Spoonie's a good coach.
Yeah.
And
in the beginning, it's starting to level off a little bit. And
also, like,
I mean, I don't mean losses in terms of games. I mean losses in terms of players.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, Nurgle, if you have all positionals, is still pretty high TV.
Yeah. And then, let's see, Tadpoles, currently in third, has to play Rats.
Which is a bye week, because Rats is no longer in the league.
Oh, no longer in the
What
league.
happened to Reds?
They dropped. They disappeared, I think.
Yeah, recently.
Didn't play their games. They just disappeared off the face of the map, I think.
So that's pretty big for the Tadpoles, and then actually,
I think
All Rats is
130 is
also Chief Tactics is also getting that bye week in match 13. So that's big for both of them.
Yeah, that means Cheese will be at 22 points and just needs put him at 25 if he can get a win.
Yeah, of course, Tadpoles, who are currently above him, are also getting that bye week. Tadpoles play in week 13 against Tadpoles in the Big City versus Can't Catch Us.
Yeah, so Spoony Bard.
So Spoony Bard is playing a bit of Kingmaker here, and I actually think is in contention, possibly.
Let me see. Well,
yeah.
Tadpole in the Big City gets the bye week, so that's going to put him at 25, which makes it unreachable for Spoony Bard. So he can't pass even if he wins. Or let me see.
Right, Can't Catch Us
can't
gets
pass.
no,
He can't
Can't
pass
Catch
even if he wins out. So
yeah,
right. So
130 is gonna
actually,
get that free win.
yeah,
So
25
really,
is gonna be the number to match in order to get in.
And he can't do that. Right?
So
Yeah.
really, it's just the top 4 players in contention because
Yeah,
of the
because
drop.
of those bye weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of whether Cheese can get in or not.
Yeah, it's gonna be down to which
Wow.
one of these.
Okay, well,
it's gonna be
I
close.
guess thanks our Rats. So it's 4, and it's just who can get in. And
Yeah,
Cheese has a
one of them is not getting in.
and Cheese is down 3 points. So I think my prediction is Eat Man Things, New Year Norse, Tadpoles in the Big City.
All right. Well, let's take a look at the teams. We might as
It's
well.
a real top 1.
There's
But
just
yeah, we can look at the
there's
teams.
just 4 of them, but okay. Idiot Man things from the top.
Looking good. I mean, 2 movement ups.
Almost have everything. They
edges.
just don't have a real good sacker. They've got a one-turner that was probably supposed to be a sacker, and then he rolled plus movement, and it's just like, screw it. But
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
and the vermin are kind of like not very well developed vermin. You got your plus strength tackle guard, but no like mighty blow.
Yeah, no claw, no
removal.
mighty blow. It's gonna be rough. He does have, I guess, a bit of removal with the dirty player, but not quite enough bench to really take advantage of it. 1, 2, 6, 7, 10. He's down a player, so it makes it hard to take advantage of that dirty player. Although since he's down in TV compared to who he's likely going to be up against, might be able to take the bribes and maybe some star players to get him that bench. So.
I guess you'd take the wizard if you could have the opportunity with the both plus agility players. You've got your ball retrieval option here, and you could try to steal it.
Yeah. Yeah, two agility 5 gutter runners, especially agility 5 and 2
5
heads.
with 2 heads.
That's
Yeah.
gross.
You can just jump in and jump out.
Yeah. That's gross. Okay. So yeah, he's gonna be, I think, just one over it, but so ED Man things, rats off to you, and
It's literally just at this point.
Tyranny of Kiros.
It's pretty much between Tadpoles and Cheese to make who gets the 3rd slot.
And the New Year Norse actually.
Yeah, New Year North. Yeah, because Tadpoles
New
is
Year Norse
guaranteed.
can still be eliminated.
Yeah,
because
Tadpoles is
Cheese
guaranteed.
has to win head to head.
Yeah, and Tadpoles is guaranteed 25, which puts him tied with New Year North.
Does Cheese play against the Tadpoles? He won against the Tadpoles, so he has the tiebreak on both of them. So if he can get to 25 points, he's getting in. And then it would just be between the New Year Norse and the Tadpoles.
Well, not necessarily.
which person's
New Year
getting
North
out.
and Tadpoles could both get.
Well, yeah, they need to both lose their upcoming games. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that happens and he gets to 25, Cheese will get in, and he'll be the number 2 seed.
Alright. So, speaking of New Year North, let's take a look at that team.
This is the weird team, isn't it?
This is the one, came up from the rookie league, had a lot of weird skill choices, but a hell of a record. Still pretty impressive, 27, 8, and 3. And yeah, trim some of that bloat just over the course of the season, as you tend to do with AB7. So
He trimmed quite a bit of bloat.
yeah, not quite as weird looking anymore. Does still have, I guess, that runner with the lineman with Dauntless.
The
but,
shadowing.
is that shadowing piece still here? Yeah, the shadowing piece is still pretty weird, especially after strength. But yeah, I mean, he's got and of course the armor on the Yeti. Bit of bloat, but he's like, I mean, like we've seen in Div 3, it's not holding Ladius down, it's not holding Ornan down here. Both getting plenty of wins, scoring plenty of touchdowns. Having a bunch of skills, turns out, can sometimes be useful, even if they're not necessarily optimal choices. So, and like
Really?
diving tackle on the Zerker is sort of weird, but it does actually have some synergy with jump up. So,
And you
yeah.
could get stand firm and hope maybe roll double and get dodge, but
yeah. And of course he's got a straight up killer piece that's pretty well developed, and yeah, I mean, he's got some weird pieces. The pieces you have that aren't weird and are just super useful are going to be super useful. And even though weird skills here and there do come in useful when you need them. So
just a little bit low on Mighty Blow. I imagine he was higher in the past. He only has 2 Mighty Blow players right now.
yeah, I think this 1945 Berserker is probably a mid-season replacement. Let's take a look at his stats. Yeah, he's only been here for 3 matches, so don't remember what his Berserker was before that.
Really lucky to get 2 MVPs in 3 matches on a Berserker, though.
Absolutely.
Might be
yeah.
able to give him level 3
Yeah.
before the season's done.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's he's got plenty of bench. He's still looking pretty healthy for all the trimming he's taken. He's had enough cash and still has enough cash to replace him. He's only currently got 1 runner, so he could actually fit in another one if he wanted to. He's got the cash for it, but like we said, he's already at 1940 TV, so that's going to put him at what 2030. So we may not want to do that, or maybe just drop one of these linemen that doesn't have any skills on him and replace him with a runner. But yeah, solid looking team. Couple of weird choices, but the bloat there hasn't been holding him back, and obviously we don't know what we're talking about when it comes to bloat, because both of these sort of bloaty weird choice teams in Div 2 and Div 3 are doing very well. So yeah, non-optimal choices doesn't mean they're going to keep you from winning your games when it comes down to it. Next on the list, Tadpoles in the Big City.
Yep, so 130's Lizardman team.
I mean, pretty lizardy.
Yeah, he's got 2 Blodge Skinks, which is fantastic.
Oh look, he's got the one turner, but he's got the sidestep first before sure feet for you, Mike.
No sure feet there. It's just sprint.
Yeah, that's why I said he got sidestep before sure.
Oh
feet.
yeah.
You were bitching about it on Zoots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But it's a
like
lizard.
sidestep. What do you want? It's like the most useful thing you can give a skink usually.
Lumi,
if he doesn't roll doubles.
let's go grab a drink or something and let Mike talk about a Lizardman team for 30 minutes. Tell us how this Lizardmen team with break, tackle, and block is different from every other Lizardmen team with break, tackle, and block.
It's got piling on, which is a bit weird for a Saurus.
You just don't like piling on, but yeah, it is kind of.
I like piling on, just not on a Lizardman team. I'll take it all day on when I'm playing Orcs to the North. But...
I think he's probably one of the only Saurus with piling on in the league.
Yeah, he's got that Bloxigor with grab. Grabs, I think we talked about this last time, but grab's a little bit an odd choice, but it makes more sense with a Bloxigor than it does on a normal Croxigor, so I'm fine with that.
It makes 1-turn chancing, like you can pull someone out if someone tries to set up for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to make it 1-turning a lot easier. It's going to... and just in general, the Crocs are going to be hitting with a lot more. Whereas, you know, a Crocs that doesn't have block, you might just decide to leave in place and not even throw that hit just because he might fuck it up or he might bonehead. This is one he still might bonehead, but you know, you go from a 1 in 9 failure to a 1 in 36 if he does throw the block. So he's going to be hitting a lot more. Grab makes it so that he can keep the pieces that he hits stuck to his Brancell tail and keep as many of those pieces stuck to him as he can. And yeah, it's also good for if he's up against a team with a bunch of sidesteppers. So, considering his 1-turn piece only needs 1 push to get to make that 1 turn, being able to use grab against a sidestepper in the blitz means that even if the opponent, you know, lines up nothing but sidestep pieces on the line of scrimmage to keep him from getting a 1-turn touchdown, it's not going to be effective because he can now.
Just needs stand firm.
Yeah, well, yeah. He doesn't have Juggernaut, so stand firm's still going to stop him from getting in. But sidestep won't, is my point, because he only needs 1 push. But yeah, this is a good-looking team. I think he's got a good chance of getting in there. It's going to depend a lot on what happens to the top 2 teams. Actually, no, there's three spots here, so really...
He's in there. And
yeah.
I'm pretty sure the only way for him not to be in there is if he loses the final game.
Yeah.
Because he'll get that bye week, which will put him at 25. And if he loses that final game and Cheese wins out, there's a chance that he goes out.
And that final game is going to be against Spoony Bard, who is, as we said, sort of playing Kingmaker. He's up against New Year North and Tadpoles. If he wins either of those games, it's going to shake up the top of the leaderboard significantly.
So I think he has the win over New Year Norse. So in the tiebreaker, I think he would be in and New Year Norse would be out.
Tadpoles does?
Yeah.
Let's take a quick look.
No, wait. No, I mean, the New Year Norse has the tiebreaker. So yeah, the Tadpoles would be out if Cheese somehow won out and Tadpoles lost their last game.
Right.
And of course, if New Year Norse had... Well, I guess, yeah. And then even if the New Year Norse win, then yeah, if Cheese, as long as Cheese gets to 25 and the Tadpoles lose their final game, Cheese will get that last spot.
So I've got up on the screen right now, Can't Catch Us, Spoony Bard's team, not in contention themselves, but if they win either of their next 2 matches, it's going to shift things around quite considerably for the teams that are in contention. We've got a guard, stand firm, block beast, which is just freaking terrifying. We've got a 2 heads, dodge, block, bludge, sure hands, pestigore, ball carrier, got a movement ball carrier, we've got a movement pestigore, wrestle, dodge, pestigore. Fairly basic. I mean, that beast is a beast. Pretty basic stuff all around otherwise, except for that pestigore with 2 heads is going to be pretty useful with the dodge.
Spoony's team would look like an awesome building Nurgle team. This was his first season.
Yeah, he's lost so many pieces. Yeah, considering the pieces that we know that he's lost earlier in the season, he's actually built it up pretty well. This doesn't look like a team that's, you know, taken a severe beating, and he has. So he's done pretty good with the rebuilding, and he's got bench. He's got 13 players and a dirty player. So against that AV7 with the Norse team could pose some problems. Not a lot of mighty blow, but the dirty player could make a big difference. Although New Year's North, I think, has quite a bit of bench. So yeah, hard to say which way that's going to go, but definitely in a Kingmaker position here for Spoony Bard. And then the last of the teams that are in contention, we've looked at the top 3, yeah?
Yep.
So let's take a look at Cheese Tactics Mark II. There's a lot going on here. So, that skill that he's
thrower, probably a normal, otherwise he might have picked it.
Yeah. Yep. Got a Gobbo with... Oh my god, what?
Yeah. Strip ball sprint. Yeah.
That's ballsy is what that is. You've got a block troll.
He got pro for the landing when you throw him.
Yeah. Because getting the ball just that far is going to, likely to take up the reroll, so, may not have the reroll by the time you need to land the goblin.
Two really good blitzers. You got like 2 palm tackle blitzers.
Yeah.
With pro.
With pro, those are definitely double killer pieces there. Blotch Firm Blitzer armor bust, but he's got Blotch Firm. And then this other Blitzer just a miss next game. Yep.
Yeah. Frenzy Mighty Blow.
Yeah. And then the guard piece is Niggled.
The only sore spot to this team is just the lack of development on Blackworks.
Yeah, the Blackworks aren't
difficult.
Great, but they're not. I mean, they've all got at least block, so they're not totally naked. And 2 guards is good. The AV8 on one of them isn't the best, but it's not the time to be replacing a Blackwork at this end of the season. So you definitely keep that guy on the roster at least. See you through, and you try and get into playoffs. If he doesn't make the cut into playoffs, then I would expect maybe replacing that guy. You don't want the AV8 sticking around for too much longer.
Sure.
But yeah, there's some stuff on this team. They've got the 2 killers, Crazy Goblin, the block troll. He's got a bye week, so he just has to beat. Who's the one team that he's actually playing? Cheese Tactics is playing Howl at the Moon. So he's playing Rumblebee. Let's take a quick look at that team.
Necromantic with some, if I remember, some pretty dang good wolves.
Ooh, yeah, he's got a Strength 4 wolf and a Mighty Blow Piling On wolf. Both of which an AV9 team is not going to be too happy to see. The rest of the team, it's not hugely developed, but he does have 4 guard pieces. With the whites and one of the ghouls. Flesh golems don't have a whole lot going on yet. Didn't he lose at the very beginning of the season? Anyway, that was a while ago. So that one, zombie. The other. He's guarded some odd places that might not stick around. It's the only issue here. I mean, the ghouls got the mobility, but not necessarily the staying power, and the zombie might stick around, but he's not going to be able to necessarily get him where that guard's going to be helpful. The whites with the mobile guard are going to be helpful. Then again, the strength 4 werewolf don't necessarily need the extra assists to keep those hits coming. So yeah, it's going to be a match to watch for Cheese. It's definitely going to decide whether or not he's got a shot at the playoffs. Oops. If he's able to pull it off, he's got a shot, but he's still going to need some upset up in the top ranks.
Yeah, he's going to need Spoony Bard to take down the Lizardman team.
Yeah, or the New Year North. Actually, New Year North would have to lose both, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His best chance is probably going to be Spoony Bard playing the upset against 130, yeah.
Yeah. So, predictions. It's really just who isn't going to make it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the top 3. If you're gonna say the upset pick, I'd probably say the Lizardman team would lose to Spoony Bard, and then Cheese would need to win out. I think their game against Rumblebee is going to be the hardest games of the 2 that they're going to play.
Well, Cheese that's the only game he's going to play.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a bye week.
He has the bye week. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's huge, actually, late in the season for that team to drop out.
As long as he can get that one game and Spoony Bard can get the upset, he has a chance. So it's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll go with top 3 as well.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be top 3. I wouldn't be... There's still 2 weeks left, but there's bye weeks for 3 and 4 makes things real weird here. But yeah, it's probably going to be them. think if it's going to be an upset, New Year North versus Spoony Bard might be difficult. And then if New Year North loses that match and has a bunch of players injured for the match after that, I could see that going poorly. So I guess my long shot pick would be that New Year's North would probably be the one knocked out. But yeah, I think we're probably looking at the leaderboard staying the way it is. What about you, Saace? What do you think?
I just don't want to have to talk about cheese through the playoffs, so I really think the top three is going to stay the way it is.
Fair enough. All right, let's.
You notice I made no comment about cheese, because then it'd be like, man, Saace only comments on my team about this. Oh, Saace didn't comment on my team about all. You only spent 45 minutes talking about my team this week.
You know, we haven't said is why is this a Skaven team? Why are the names of cheese if they aren't Skaven?
We didn't say that all season.
I'm sure I must have.
Yeah, I mean, you're new to the whole process of it's a stupid name.
All right. Let's move it along. Yeah.
Look at top three. I think 130 out of all those three teams is the one that I think will go far in the playoffs. The solid lizard team.
What is that noise in the background? That was weird.
That's my text message from my girlfriend.
Oh, weird.
That's gross. Looks familiar. Anyways, let's go look at Div 1.
All right, Div 1.
Mathematically, Mike is the bottom of the possible top 7.
Yeah, so I've got a long shot, which I didn't expect to even have. For me to win, you have to, Saace, you have to not. I have to win back-to-back against the Necro teams. Mistays has to not win both of his games. He can.
He can win one, and
yeah, he can win one and tie one. I've got the tiebreaker, so if he wins one and ties one, and I win both, and then Saace can, at best, tie one of his next two games. If he wins either game or ties both of them, then I'm out.
We're gonna hope I'd win against Rodog.
Yeah, I mean the odds. I mean, not to mention the odds of me beating both Necro teams being pretty low. The odds of you losing and tying, or worse, your next two games when one of them is the team at the bottom of the ladder is.
You need Fiction to lose. Well, first you have to beat Fiction, then you need Fiction to lose his last game, or whatever order it is in.
I think he's up. Let's see. Fiction's last game is against Mistays.
Yeah, so you'd need Mistays. Wait, but then Mistays. Okay, Mistays can win. He'd have to beat Fiction. Well, no, he could.
Now,
he could tie Fiction.
If Saace loses,
as long as you beat Fiction, you have the tiebreaker, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do I need? I need Mistays to not beat Motley, which is actually not unlikely.
No, it's not unreasonable.
But yeah, but the more unreasonable is that A, I beat both of the Necro teams, and B, that Saace do no better than tie one of the next two games. When he's up against Rodog and
Trunkhead.
Trunkhead might be rough, but you're probably gonna beat.
I don't know. Trunkhead and I are equal TV. We're 10 off of each other. I'm down one of my killers, but Trunkhead also tends to overcommit against bash and then get bashed, and then talk about dice. So it depends. But
at least I have him after you, so I hope you can do some damage.
Hopefully, I mean, honestly, Trunkhead's team, when he hits bashed, gets beat up pretty badly, but it is on the Agi side, which I don't grade against. So we'll see. He also has 4 Mighty Blow. It's not a weak team.
No. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I don't think I've locked a playoff spot, but I think the Necronomics and Booze Crews can't get past. I think they've locked at least a chance in the playoffs.
Yeah, we're looking at 4 spots.
Oh. Maybe they haven't locked it. Maybe no one's safe yet. It's hard to tell, because it's still like... I think we can have 4 players get past. So I know... Yeah, I know... So from Animal Farm up, yeah.
Booth Cruiser's got Mistays in week 13 and... No, Mistays in week 12, and then Booth Cruise against Men in Tights in week 13. Let's see. Necronomics has got somebody who's next week. Necronomics is Rodog next week, and then me the week after.
I mean, at this point,
Necronomics is in.
yeah,
much.
and Rodog should be pretty much an easy win for them.
Yeah, that's also after Cricket has his way with Rodog, makes it even less likely that you're gonna lose to him. So I think I'm out. Yeah, not mathematically impossible eliminated yet, but
Just you know.
but yeah, it's a shot in hell.
Yeah.
Next
I
up
can
is
still go out.
Let's see, Mistays. Who's his last 2 rounds against?
Booth Cruise and then Gloom and Zoom.
Bruce Cruz is really rough, especially where Mistays' team is right now. Those are 2 really rough teams for Mistays to finish out.
Somehow
season,
managed to
especially
beat
when-
Orny Cricket. Maybe he could pull off the same thing again?
Maybe, but maybe. Like I said, Nuffle will do its things, but to beat, the top team and then the double strength 4 werewolf team, because he needs both wins to get
And
23
Motley,
points.
yeah, like it's crazy.
And Motley, yeah, he needs to beat both of the monster necro teams, which he beat one of them, and the top dwarf team. So, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got a shot.
he's got a shot. Saying there's a chance. All right.
So you're saying there's a chance?
All right. Let's actually take a look at some of these teams. All right, let's start from the top. Ooh, weird. BB2 League Manager has got. I guess they're tied in points.
Booze Cruise is actually they're tied, but since Booze Cruise has the touchdown differential, they would be top.
Did they tie their?
They tied their match.
head-to-head?
They tied their match. Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy that the dwarves have the higher TD differential.
Yeah, they just have not given up that many touchdowns.
Yeah, it's Booze Cruise. We stand firm everywhere. We're dwarves.
Yeah, this is the defense. See, they've only given up 7
They lost
touchdowns.
one of their experienced longbeards that you killed, Saace, if I
I
remember
killed a
correctly.
longbeard.
I'm pretty sure you
I
did.
killed a longbeard, and I also got rid of a runner.
Yeah, Cricket's
Yeah.
got more touchdowns at 17, but he's seeded more at 10. So.
I killed a longbeard, I got rid of a runner. So he's got only 1 runner, and all he has is his block.
All right, let's find this
But-
team.
He's got 6 stand firm pieces, 5 guard, a strength up. Like, Molly's team is scary.
It's a dwarf team.
Yeah. Slayer. It's a little
I
less
think
scary than he was at the beginning of the season, but no.
Certainly.
Not really significant. Not by much.
Yeah, this reminds me of how Rodog looked when he first entered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rodog has some pretty advanced runners, as I recall, but they all bit the dust pretty early in the season.
Yeah.
Rodog's had a rough season. Is dwarves.
So that's
Very
Booth
good.
Cruise.
Is dwarves very good.
yeah.
Necronomics.
Next down the list is Necronomics.
Necronomics, I think, looks better off than Fiction simply because he didn't lose both flesh golems in 1 week.
Flash golems.
Yeah, those
I don't
flesh
know, it's-
golems are developed. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Although it's hard to argue with 2 strength 4 werewolves, one that has Mighty Blow.
Yeah, but werewolves are easier to level up than flesh golems.
That's true.
Give me a werewolf, I'll level it up no time. But give me a fucking flesh golem, that's commitment.
Yeah, but you can level them up, but can you get 2 strength ups and a Mighty Blow on them? So,
I mean, early on, Cricket proved the Necro off pretty handedly.
yeah. No, I mean, I'm not saying that. Yeah, I mean, Cricket's on top of the leaderboard for a reason, and it's not. He's also just a fantastic coach.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I mean, he's not that hard to beat. Come on. Now.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Mistakes beat him, so whatever.
Oh, it's the new meme. Since I don't have soul, it'll be, well, I lost to Saace and I, so I clearly don't deserve to be here. We had soul last season.
Oh, you beat him too? Now I've got
Yeah.
hope. You and Mistakes beat him. Maybe I can beat him.
Yeah, you can do this. I mean, it's a strong team. The only sore point is the fact that Horny Soul is unleveled, aside from block.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been replacing that werewolf. I think that's his. Is that his second replacement this season, or is it just his first?
Let's see. This has been on the team for 4 matches, so I don't recall.
Yeah, probably. I know it was replaced this season for
Yeah.
certain, after Soul's game. I'm pretty sure it was Soul who killed the previous werewolf, and that's where it's got its name.
Yeah, it could very well be.
Yeah.
The whites are also aren't not a huge amount of development there.
He lost Chrome this season, and Talcum. So
Yeah, about half a season on Chrome, although no levels. Wow, 6 matches and touchdown, a casualty. Yeah, touchdown, just a touchdown and a casualty on it. The other one, 17 matches and yeah, just 13 FPP. So yeah, Talcum's been there all season.
Yeah, it looks like he's been there all season.
Yeah. So, scary looking wolf. Very developed flesh golems. The ghoul's gonna be a pain in the ass. But overall, not a lot of terrifying development here on the rest of the team. But cricket's also
It's balanced.
Yeah. There's not lacking anything really. And what it does have is what we know to be a very, very talented coach behind it. So, odds of cricket not making it into the playoffs are basically nil. So who's next on the list? Oh, you are.
Lumi
Yeah, that would be me.
with the goddamn one-turner
That won't die.
I do not know how has our AV6. It survived.
I've not had to APO it yet.
The whole season, I've seen it get hit, and it will like not break, or it'll just get stunned, and it wins you games.
I surfed him in our game, and the crowd loved him. So
he's just like I'm like, yeah, and it like came down to it. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna one-turn with my natty one-turner, some fucking Lumi, and my AV6 rat doesn't die.
Yeah, and I remember in my game against USauce, the crowd actually helped Napoleon get that one-turner. They threw a rock at the screen in the back, if I remember.
Crowd loves him. Can't die. Nilla's back. Halva's picked up Mighty Blow.
Yeah, that was nice.
So who do you have coming up? Who are you up against? You got
That would be Yeti
Soul,
the Party.
Yeti the Party.
So that's like the 5-player Norse team.
Yeah.
Soul's Norse, and then Trunkhead.
Okay.
Ooh.
So neither of those are going to be super easy matches. I mean,
Yeti the Party
Yeti
is
Party-
a good coach, but there's like if you look at the team,
Oh, we
there's
lost
only
his
like
Yeti
one Mighty
too.
Blow tackle on the team.
Yeah.
It's like
What team?
5 players.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is that when I was up against him, I was looking at his team going, he's got nothing there, and then he beat me.
He has nothing left.
And then he had
Wait,
like,
I mean-
and then he had like no players left when I played him, and he had 4 of my Saurus in the casualty box in the first half.
I don't
so.
know. When I played it, oh, there's not really much team there. And then there would continue to be not much team there. You just gotta get your shit together, Mike.
Yeah, I guess
Get
so.
your shit together.
Just get your
Get
shit
it together.
Put it all in
Put
the
it in
bag.
the Yeah, no, it's Lumi. Former Super Bowl champion. Returning to the field of glory with his stupid fucking one-turner. And
Yeah.
I don't have a
and
sacker, but
his
yeah.
now Mighty Blow
Has
Claw.
Napoleon
Can we
been
call him?
AV6 for the entire season? Didn't
Yeah.
he get that bust
Yes.
during
He
playoffs?
got it against Kool-Aid in the Super Bowl, if you remember.
Yeah. All season. I think he's only missed. He was out the first game of the season.
Yeah, it was in the Super Bowl. He had to miss the first game.
All season, this little bastard been running one-turn touchdowns.
He has yet to fail one. Whenever I've
I hate
tried.
him so much. I hope you make it to playoffs, and I hope he dies. Can we talk about the fact that Sprinkled Hava took forever to get Mighty Blow, and now he has it?
Yeah, he still only has one MVP in 46 matches. That's why it took forever.
That's all just casualties. And 9 touchdowns.
Touchdowns, yeah. I tried. I really tried.
Yeah.
And it's just like, Nuffle's like, no, you don't get any MVPs.
Well, now it should go a little bit faster now that he's got Mighty Blow Claw.
And then you've got the longest-lived line rat, well, the thrower, it's also rat in the league. You've got Vivoti, who has 82 matches. I'm pretty sure is the most long-lived rat.
Almost
About
certainly.
1 MVP a match.
Yeah.
Did he pick up Fend?
I did pick up Fund, yeah.
Yeah, I think he leveled up in
was
our match, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he leveled up on that one, play at the end, where he basically hero balled it.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. Vivoti's a cool rat.
And then Choco Chipmunk got legend against the Jacks, so picked up
And
Fend as
got
well.
Fend. Everybody gets
Yep.
Fend. You get a Fend. You get a Fend. You get a Fend. Yeah, it's looking good. I mean, what do you want to say? The previous Super Bowl champion doesn't have a shot? Meh.
Nah, he's going in. Who else is next? Gloom and Zoom. Let's take a look at Fiction.
So that's
I
Fiction.
mean, the hard thing is Fiction lost both Flesh Golems.
In one
Just-
game.
in the same match,
Yeah.
right?
It's
Yeah.
so rough.
But those werewolves and those whites are looking pretty good.
Yeah, he's got plenty of development everywhere else, so...
I really wish he would have not made... I guess it doesn't matter. The Strength Werewolf as a carrier is fine. Blodge, Strength 4 is hard to take down. I don't know. You got 2 Strength 4 werewolves. Let him go punch shit.
Get him tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And give a ghoul the ball. Because who wants to run through the... But, I mean, with both Flesh Golems being unleveled,
Or give him...
sure hands and being the ball carrier is probably a good idea.
Or I would have thought that, Sidestep would have been a good pick just to keep from being counter-served. But,
Yeah.
it's weird. But that said, he's got the sure hands, and he's only 4 points away from his next level, so...
Be easy to get touchdowns with him, because he's probably getting the ball.
Yep, he's going to get the ball. He just needs 2 more touchdowns, and then he's going to... Yeah, and it's hard to get the ball away from him, being a Blodge Strength 4 piece, so... With movement 8. Ugh. Gross.
Yeah. It's all on the werewolves, though. I mean, the werewolves and Catatonia Momentum.
Yep.
But it's just so sad that both Flesh Golems went out.
Yeah,
having unskilled Flesh Golems against skilled teams.
Yeah, and especially when the rest of your team is so skilled that it's not like you're going to get, inducements or anything. You're right. You've still got a pretty significant TV.
And everybody thinks, werewolves or whatever, but
you need
you need the
support.
Flesh Golems and the guard, to set up the werewolves.
Yeah, he's only got the 1 guard piece right now, so...
Is his mic messing up for you, Lumi?
I think it's just his network. Yeah. I assume it's on his end. It's coming out fine.
Yeah, it'll be recorded directly from the mic.
You just go in a little robot on it.
Okay, well, it should be picking up fine on the recording, so... Weird. Alright. Yeah, so that's the top 4 teams. Saace is going to be the next one. The shot at making it in.
That's the fucking thing I thought I'd never hear.
Neither did I.
I know! You are such an asshole. Every time I play Lumi, he's like, oh, Saace? Oh. And then every time I cast a game with Lumi, I'll make a comment, and he will fucking, mutter to himself and double check that it is the correct assessment and then agree with me. I'm like, oh yeah, you just see him, he's gonna use the white here to sack. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, he's gonna use the white to sack. Well, thanks, Lumi. Every time I'm right is a surprise to Lumi.
Oh, what do you know? I got, broken clock and all that.
Broken clock's right twice a day, and my team can carry me.
So Moses is out.
Yeah,
Who's getting the benefit? Who's getting the benefit from that? Who are you up against next?
Trunk.
Trunkhead. Ooh.
It gives us even TV, so he doesn't get a wizard.
Ah.
I'd rather have a second killer.
Mm-hmm.
You should still be fun, I imagine.
I would think so. I mean,
Or not. Trunk, kill him. Like, give me a shot at the playoff. That's the only way I'm getting in.
I mean, really, this team has been carried on the shoulders of my Chaos Warriors forever now, and Boxer now.
Yeah, and they've stayed pretty healthy.
I mean, yeah, one injury in how many games have they played? All of them.
Mr. Frederick and that it was the APO failed Mr. Frederick, if I recall.
Yes, that's correct. I mean, it really hasn't affected him all that much, other than his jump up to a block is 67% chance.
Well, you lost some Beastmen earlier in the season, I think. But
Oh, I lose Beastmen all the time. We're not talking about Beastmen.
just
I have
the Warriors.
so many Beastmen. I lost a Rackle Beastman. I lost a block Mighty Blow Beastman. I lost a block Tackle Beastman. And just a little bit, I lose them. Goes. But yeah, I've never lost a Chaos Warrior.
So you guys have been here the whole time. How many games matches played? 61 matches on Mr. Whimper.
How do we find these worst matches at?
Hmm?
I can't see matches on my screen I'm looking at here.
What are we looking at? What
click
matches do you have?
You click on the player, then you go to statistics. It shows you how many matches they played. 62.
I'm not in the game. I'm just using the League Manager. Anyways.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Slacker. All right.
I'm gonna pick up Dodge on Clover, and I think I'm gonna make Clover because I really like Boxer. The Blodge, the two heads is super nice for like cage diving, but I can't risk losing him, so he doesn't get to dive cages. So I think I'm gonna go Rackle two heads.
Yeah, Rackle Dodge, two heads.
Make
if
a
you get a
sacker.
plus agility, even better.
Did you just say Rackle? Oh, wait, sorry, not Rackle Dodge. Yeah, Rackle Dodge, two heads. Raj Rackle, two heads. Anyways, I have to play Trunkhead, who I have copied TV. We started at the same TV. We like lose people and go on the same TV. So we're at the same TV for this game, and then I got to play Roadhog.
After one of the.
And you get your killer back for that one, which is nice.
Yeah, and
After Horny Cricket has his way with him too, so.
yeah, and I think I need what? Like, if I draw one and win the other, that puts me at 23 points. Should secure me a spot, I think.
It depends on how Fiction does. And how Lumi does.
Yeah. If I can win out, obviously I make it, but if I don't win out, then that's where it matters.
Yeah, and Fiction's got me and Mistaves.
It's not, easy matches.
No. No, yeah, all those matches could go any number of different ways. Hard to say. I think both me and Mistaves are on like
Life support.
Yeah, are on life support, hope and a prayer sort of situation. But
if I draw and win, which is pretty likely, and Mistaves wins both of his, he's got the head-to-head on me though, so he would win out, right? Is that what we're doing, or we're doing friendlies?
No, this season it's head-to-head first. It'll be friendlies if like every other tiebreaker.
Touchdown differential and head-to-head are the same, yeah.
Yeah. And it's probably going to change up next season, so. But this season it's head-to-head first, so.
Alright. You want to look at Mistaves' team?
Let's take a look.
What's left of his team, at least.
I mean, it's still got Agi 5 blocker and an
It's got Godprey, and it also got the Blodge. It's just got Mighty Blow on his last game. Yeah, and he did get Dante the Daring back.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's down to 3 blitzers and 3 blockers. Can't replace either.
Godfrey is now legendary, and holding his leader, so he doesn't want to do too much with him unless he needs to. I don't know. It's still a good team. I mean,
but he's up against the gauntlet, so.
Yeah, it's a rough one, but he's done really well. I mean, he's taken a lot of games that, you wouldn't expect him to take. Though, I mean, him getting nose diced like he does every season tickles me.
Yeah, we'll see that in the.
That game was pretty crazy.
Wish I had not missed the replay on that, but Yeah. So for the ending for the week 10 montage, most of those replays I missed because last week has just been sort of hellish. But we'll get to that when we get to that. We're not quite done with that.
So yeah, I mean it's a good team. He needs to. When we were talking about it, he lost his blocker killer, and now he's gonna make a blitzer killer because he got sick of the wrestle killer, which I understand.
Yeah, although he'll need another double to put Polygon on him, but
Yeah.
He has time.
but yeah,
Well,
he
assuming
can.
that this team, well, whether this team or not continues on, he'll have
Well,
time.
For a while there, he was planning on re-rolling, and now he was planning on staying. So we'll see. He's still got a
Like
shot
last
to get to
season.
playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, if he makes
When
it
he
to
lost
playoffs,
Gelfried with that edgy 5 blitzer who had strong arm or something.
yeah, it was gross. He could make a 2+ long bomb. I think it was. It was.
Yeah.
You know what I want to? You know what I want to see? I want to see Mistays make it to playoffs. Hard fight his way through, carry his way, get a solid showing, and then in the last game of his playoff runs, I want Godfrey to die. Sorry, no, not last game. I want him to live. Then I want him to go into the first game of the new season, brand new season. He decides I'm gonna stay Brett's, and then I want Godfrey to die, so stop. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want him to play all the way through, have a glorious moment, and then I want Godfrey to die at the first game of next season. Then I just want him to suffer through a full season.
I mean, he's still got some team here, and he's got. No one can take away the fact that he won the race to legend. So,
Yeah.
got the first legend, the Rebel. So besides you and Mistays, has anyone else in the Rebel made it to legend yet?
I'm pretty sure no one else has made it to legend yet.
All right.
There's no one really else that was close.
Well,
Only close people now are
Pharaoh's.
Pharaoh and Vicious Nilla right now.
Yeah.
Those are probably going to be the two next ones.
Well, Pharaoh's not going to survive that long.
He doesn't have much longer to go, right?
Well, he hasn't scored in a while. I've been getting like Saurus touchdowns lately, which and Gorman.
Soros TDs.
Yeah.
He's-
At least
he's,
for me, for Nilla. Nilla didn't get anything, but he's
It's
bound to get a bunch of casualties.
18 points away. So, considering he's gonna die next game, so as I always say. But yeah, I'm next on the list and technically in contention, so we might as well take a look at Sulaco.
I mean, Pharaoh's not dead yet.
Yeah, Pharaoh. Well, he's dead next game. He'll be dead next game. Don't worry about it.
Frost, you've been saying that for like 2 seasons now. Frost somehow has survived a full season with double niggle.
Yeah, no thanks to you.
I mean, I gave him the double niggle and he survived, so I don't know what to tell you.
Well, yeah, that's because I've got the 2 Necro teams in the last 2 weeks, so I doubt he'll last the season. And even if he does last the season, it's probably time to replace him.
He'll just get niggled again, and it'll just be a constant cycle.
The triple niggle Frost.
And I'll keep saying
Yeah, it's one of the few things you can stack.
Can you get more than 2 niggles? Oh yeah, you can.
I'm pretty sure you can get 2
No,
more.
yeah.
It's not a stat.
I had 3 of them on a skink at one point before I knew what I was doing.
No, the niggles.
Yeah. And I'll keep saying, well, he's strength 4 and AV9. He still have to break armor, and then he'll still go out every game.
Strength 4 AV9 Blodge.
Yeah, exactly. Strength 4 AV9 Blodge, and he still have to break
So
armor.
strong.
So.
I don't know. I mean, your team's looked worse going into playoffs.
Yeah, well, I'm not going into playoffs, but yeah, it's just looked
There's
worse.
a chance. All right, predictions.
Sure.
All right.
So
Uh,
I'd probably put the top 2 going in there. Then
Yeah.
it's gonna be the bottom 2 that are gonna be pretty fluctuating.
I'm gonna put you 2 on the next 2 spots.
Saace and
So
me.
that's
Okay.
a bold prediction.
That would be would Mistays and I both have to beat Fiction for that to happen, or would just one of us beating him?
I mean, Fiction? One of you beating Fiction would let me tie him, and I have the head-to-head. So, if Fiction loses one of the games, and I draw and win, then I will
Well,
take it.
Yeah, well, if Fiction loses
No.
one, yeah, you're right. Well,
Yeah.
let's see. So Fiction's at
20.
20 points. You are at 19. So you should be able to pass him if you win both games and he doesn't win both games. You will most certainly pass him.
Yes, I think most likely my chances are probably going to be a draw and a win, which means I can expect to tie him if he loses one game, and then I would be over due to head-to-head.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
Fiction is a good coach with a good team. He's beaten me before. He beat me in the playoffs last season. So, it wouldn't be impossible. I mean, for him, like, it wouldn't be surprising if he beat most B and Miss days. But I think probably odds are at least one of those games is going to be a draw or worse for Fiction, just because, I don't know.
If he draws, I have to win both my games. If he
draws
draws and
one-
wins,
If he draws and wins, then you have to
Yeah,
win both. Yeah.
and if he wins, so my prediction is going to be Motley, Cricket, Loomy, Fiction.
Just going with the top 4.
Going with the top 4. I think there's a chance I sneak in if I get both wins, but I don't know. I do not know.
What do you think, Lemmy?
Yeah, the only thing I fear is that I get, like, somehow my Yeti game goes wrong horribly. If I can win that game, I'll feel pretty secure, but if I lose that game, then my spot's in pretty significant jeopardy.
Yeah, I wouldn't take it given that I was looking at Yeti to party when I was up against them and being like, oh, there's nothing there. It should be a cakewalk.
Yeah,
and then,
well, for you,
and then-
the thing is that they can get a bunch of claw star players, but that's not going to be that helpful.
well, he still had his blocky Yeti when he was against me was the issue.
Ah,
so.
yeah. I mean, maybe we see Morgenthorg come out. That's what I'm thinking in our match. That's going to probably be the best star player that he can get.
Ooh,
In terms-
and you've got those claw pieces. By the way, there is now, for anyone in the REL in the last 2 weeks of the season, if you can kill Morgan Thorg, I will send you a copy of my graphic novel. There's now a bounty on Morgan Thorg for the last 2 weeks of the season because of the Hugh Jackman Memorial Cup. Fuck that guy.
So maybe I have that chance. Well, I don't know what he'll get. We'll see. I know I did the TV calculations. And he gets like 600 in inducements or something absurd like that.
Oh my
so
god.
He can afford it easily.
You can get Morgan a Wizard.
Yeah, I think he can. Yeah. The thing I would actually be scared about is if Morgan Thorg was going to carry the ball. Because I don't have a sacker.
No, and
So,
that was my problem in the Hugh Jackman Memorial Cup.
yeah, strength 6. Like, I have no guard, and I have no way of, like, if there's no way I can get, like, all the assists to knock him down, there's no way I'm going to do it. So, yeah.
It's an interesting run-up. All right, boys. Is that it? You got a
That
memorial
is
for
it.
us?
Yeah, so let's take a moment to remember everyone who gave their all in week 10. Week 10?
On the Blood Bowl pitch?
Yeah, week 10 on the Blood Bowl pitch. And like I said, this one is a bit short. Unfortunately, I missed most of these replays. Apologies to all the coaches who lost their players, but they're all listed here, even if the replays themselves are not shown. So here we go. I'm gonna play it. In three. And we're back. So yeah, thank you all very much. Those are our predictions and the road to the playoffs. Obviously, it's a lot easier when we wait until there's only 2 weeks left in the season. I think last season we were looking at it with about 4 weeks left. But so go. It's been a busy week for busy season for everyone involved. And apologies that we didn't get one of these out last week. Like I said, just been sort of busy and exhausted. But thank you very much to our guest host Lumi.
Thanks.
And
Yeah,
as
thanks for
always.
coming on.
And as always, thanks to my co-host, Saace.
I will fight you.
I'm sure. Well, you kicked my ass in the first week of the season, so maybe we'll meet again in the playoff. But actually, no, we won't, because if you get to the playoffs, then I definitely don't.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't.
So next season,
Next
maybe.
season. I think I'm not going to reroll. So next season.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
thanks for tuning in, people. I'm sure we'll see you in playoffs come, the path of the playoffs or whatever it is that everybody likes to do now.
Yep. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the pitch.